track here in Calallen. Event 1, heat 1 of 12 for the mixed 50-yard freestyle is up first. Those of you who are coming up live right now, this is our second night at the races for the High Performance Aquatic Club here at the Calallen High School swimming pool. We do have a little bit of a change up than usual. This time we're going to have an extra team, so it's usually STSS, which is the swarm that are from Flower Bluff. Then we have NRST, which is our Northwest region, that is here in Calallen, based out of the school. We have HPAC, that's a High Performance Aquatic Club out of Calallen with Coach Kondo. We have Coach Nick still, and then we have invited Keensville Keens. And they're going to be here for this meet. This is their first time having the meet with us. Hopefully you'll be able to enjoy it as we continue. This first heat, since it's only one of 12, we do have a lot of kids swimming today. We have 4 lanes being utilized. Kids are pretty much the same ones that we've already met for the most part. If I have a couple of new Keensville Keens come up, then I will be more than happy to go ahead and announce those children and their ages. But like we always do, we are starting up with event 1, heat 1 of 12, the mixed 50-yard freestyle. And it looks like our kids that just swam have all 3 beat their last heat times. Still on event 1, the mixed 50-yard freestyle. We're at heat 2 of 12, full on kids. These ones are NRST. We have our Keensville. And we do have a couple of new kids that are from the Keensville Keens here right now swimming in the second lane 2. You've got Rowan Ashby, who is a 12-year-old male from Keensville. And then in lane 6, you have Cyrus Sanchez Vargas, who is a male age 11, coming in from Keensville. Some new swimmers this time. While we're waiting for the few other swimmers to finish up this heat, I just want to say that if you are at home, bravo. I have no air conditioning, but I'm trying to use a big fan right now to keep the flies off my face. Boy, it is sweltering hot. I already warned everybody. It is, we're up for another week and a half or so of over 100-degree weathers and heat indexes over 110. I am just hoping that we all can deal with our children at home as we are getting older as parents and we are sweating in places that we've never sweat before. And now coming into heat 3 of 12, we have Sophia with HPAC in lane 1, Alexis Medina with NRST in lane 2. Some new swimmers coming in from Keensville. We have Harriet Purdy, age 12. He is going to be on 3, and then Caden Gomez Salinas, age 12. She is in lane 4. Jacob Davis, one of our originals from NRST, he is in 5. And then we finish out with Afton Hedquist, who is 12 years old, and she swims for Keensville as well, and she is in lane 6. Currently, it looks like NRST's Alexis Medina is really taking that with first. In second came with Sophia, the 8-year-old, and then for this heat, some really good times. Some kids a little bit slower, most of the kids doing very well. And now we move into heat 4 of 12. Swimming in this heat, we have 9-year-old Ryan in lane 1 for H-Pack. We have the rest of the swimmers are all from Keensville. 12-year-old Chris in lane 2. 14-year-old Isabel in lane 3. 15-year-old Liliana in lane 4. 11-year-old Penelope Bruder in 5. And then 12-year-old Sofia Sanchez Vargas in 6. I'm thinking that Sofia and Cyrus might be related, but I'll find out later. Just so a lot of y'all are aware, this weather has kind of messed with my vocal cords a little bit. I'm not cheerful Miss Bianca anymore like the rescuers down under, or the original for that matter. Still trying to bring you some information on this live and give the kiddos their chance to be able to hear their own names come up on a YouTube live with their great times, great swimming, a lot of great effort and technique. We just want these swimmers to be able to have the opportunity to go back and pick up on what they've done and what they can continue to do. That's heat 5, diving in lane 1. We have Derek Guerra, who's 11 years old from Keensville. One of a really good dolphin kick when he came off the board, maybe a little bit longer on that slipstream, and he might be able to pick up more of his advantage on the other swimmers. But overall, not too bad. Whoa, it looks like he had forgotten to put on his goggles. We'll see how that goes. But we do have a really close race. 12-year-old male Andrew Aney from NRST in 2. Jalissa Ochoa, she's from NRST. She's in 3. And it looks like, lane 5 with Bradley Williams took first on, oh no, I'm sorry, I apologize. Correction. Jalissa Ochoa did pick up first in that heat. And that is our swimmer from NRST. Dropping 2.2 seconds, actually 2.23 since the last seed time. Now we're going into heat 6. We're getting to faster times here, older kids or like kids that have been in swim for a lot longer. So 1 second as we have a small issue to take care of. Russ. And it looks like we needed an extra time or stopwatch for our timekeepers. Very, very important to keep accuracy on these swimmers. Now in heat 6. 12-year-old Joaquin from Keensville. Joaquin I think it's supposed to be Martinez. It's Maryinez. I think that's Martinez. I'm sorry, Joaquin. Aiden Lopez, 11 years old from NRST in lane 2. Gio Chides is 8-year-old from H-Pack in lane 3. We have our own Ava Green from NRST in lane 4. Isabel Salvador, who's 10 years old with H-Pack in lane 5. And from Keensville, another swimmer, Owen Diaz, 11 years old in lane 6. And that's going to go first place in this heat to lane 3, our own Gio Chides from High Pacific Aquatic Club with Coach Condo. Heat 7 of 12 now coming in. Almost lost his goggles, made a really good recovery on that, but the kids are going. Coming into the flip turn right now. Ooh, beautiful flip turn in lanes 1, 2, and 3, and it looks like that's what gives the advantage. So in lanes 1, 2, and 3 are all H-Pack competing against each other, but it looks like lane 1's Ainsley Portales, 12 years old, is going to take first in this heat with a 34.83. That is almost 4 seconds off from her other time. Heat 9 of 12. Fixing to go up in the block. We have Caden Cooper in lane 1 from NRST. Pierre Carlo Perotto from Keensville in lane 2. He's 13. 13-year-old Kendall McPartland. She's from H-Pack. She's in 3. In lane 4, Sean Alfaro, 10-year-old from H-Pack. Lane 5, Elena Otino from NRST, age 12. And then Colton Lehman, he's 14 years old from Keensville in lane 6. We're now going into heat 10. Heat 10 of 12. 2 Keensville swimmers in this one. The rest of them are H-Pack. So Keensville has 14-year-old Evelyn Biesegan in first lane and 15-year-old David Flores in the 6th lane. We're going to see how these hold up to some of our other kids in our times. getting into a little bit more competition here. We are through with Heat 10. We're coming into Heat 11. Heat 10 did get taken by our own Zian Rogal. He is from H-Pack. Now in Heat 11, we have 9-year-old, who is the youngest of this group, Dennis Yazvin in lane 1, who is coming with H-Pack. And that kid, let me tell you, he's pretty swift. From STSS, we have in lane 2, Bryce, in lane 3, Elijah, and in lane 4, Luke. Some of our faster ones, ages 13 and 14. And then for Keensville, we do have Roman Ferrer. He's in lane 5. He's 14 years old with a pretty quick time, and he's taking third in that one, which means that AJ Rogers from Coach Mix, who's 17 years old, took first in that heat with a faster time from her last seed time. Her time currently is 28.31 seconds. Last time was 31.88. Way to go, AJ. Parents, coaches, and swimmers, be ready. Next event, event number 2, is the mixed 50-yard breaststroke. We have 7 heats. Please make sure that your swimmers are ready for their heat and their lane. Event 2, mixed 50-yard breaststroke, coming up next. And for this heat, we have lane 3, Ivan Garcia from Coach Mix taking first. I'm starting again with heat 1 of 7. In lane 1, we have Rowan, 12 years old from Keensville, Rowan Ashby. Afton Hedquist is a 12-year-old female. She's in lane 2 for Keensville. Bridget Sampson in lane 3 at 11 years old, and she swims for Keensville as well. Following her in lane 4 is Taylor Perry, who is 10 years old, and she's swimming for NRST. Then in lane 5, Liliana Martinez, who's 15 years old, swimming for Keensville, and followed by lane 6, Chase Abe, our very own 9-year-old from NRST. Let's see how these swimmers can keep up with each other. And it looks like taking first in this heat is going to be Afton Hedquist from Keensville. Wow, and Afton Hedquist will take heat 1, first place in lane 2. Knocking off about 17 seconds from her last time and doing a fantastic job. We're now coming into heat 2. Trying not to be biased online and being live, so I'm going to back up and cheer for lane 1, but I know we have plenty of kids listening that are pretty fast. super nervous. Slipstreams are doing really good on a lot of these kids. Some of them got about a third of the way down the pool before they actually came up for their first breath. Now the flip turn, that always means so much. You can figure out who takes lead there. And it looks like we have a really good head-to-head. We've got 3 swimmers that are up in the lead. It's lane 1, Maddie Spitzer. Lane 4 with Aaliyah Rogau, who's 11 years old, swimming for H-Pac. And then we have lane 6, it looks like, 5, 12-year-old Elena Otiño, who's swimming for NRST. And those 3 girls will be taking first, second, and third. Now on to event 2, heat 3. Still in the 50-yard breaststroke, but we're going to be in heat 3 now out of 7. If you're watching live, lane 4, he seems to have a pretty decent lead. That's Roman Ferrer, and he's from Gainesville, and he's a swimmer. He's lost his goggles, but he's not letting that take him out a whole lot. Of course, we do have one of the banana slugs coming up in lane 2, sneaky. Miss Isabel Salvador, who's 10 years old, and she is fast. And she will be taking, it looks like first in the heat goes to Roman. Fantastic job by lane 3's very own Sophia. Sometimes you just got to keep pushing. You never give up. You don't quit swimming. That's the most important thing. I learned that at the very beginning. My daughter was the last one at the beginning, and after many of years of training, these kiddos definitely do learn. Now going into heat 4. In heat 4, we have 12-year-old Chris Mendiondo in lane 1, 13-year-old Pierre Carlo Perrotto in lane 2, and 14-year-old Evelyn Diaz in lane 6, all from Gainesville. Coach Mix has Timothy Rogers, who's 9 years old in lane 3, very quick swimmer. Definitely very, very good at the breaststroke and his frog kick. That boy has a really good frog kick. Jalissa Ochoa for NRST, 12 years old. She's in the 4th lane. And then Liam McCloy is swimming, 10 years old, for H-Pac in lane 5. And Liam really gets it. And I tell you, he gets it because he just took first in his heat. Following behind him, though, was Timothy Rogers, and that was a very, very good run on that breaststroke. on to heat 5 of 7. In lane 1, 10-year-old male, Sean Alfaro. In lane 3, Isabella Escobar. She is age 12. Those two are swimming for H-Pack, the Banana Slugs. We have Kingsville swimmers, Derek Guerra, who's 11 years old in lane 2, and Brigham Sampson, who's 12 years old in lane 5. And then we close out with NRST. NRST has one swimmer, Alston Shabala Bolster, who's 12 years old, swimming in lane 6. My apologies, we also have in lane 4 another Rogers brother, Nathaniel Rogers, right above Timothy. He is 11 years old and he swims for Coach Mix. And boy, Nathaniel is taking this home. And first in this heat will go to Nathaniel Rogers with an amazing time. Nathaniel's last time was 52.88 seconds, running a 50-yard breaststroke. And somehow, with more heat, he managed to come in and take second in his heat with a 44.68. I'm sorry, a 45.99. The 44.68 belonged to no, I was correct. It was Nathaniel. Nathaniel just shaved off 6 seconds. It was amazing. Now we're going into heat 5. In this one, we have H-Pack is going to be in lanes 1, 2, and 4. With 10-year-old Felipe in 1, 12-year-old Ainsley in 2, and 13-year-old Zian in lane 4. STSS has one swimmer, Julie Benoit, in lane 3. She's 12 years old. And Kingsville brought in 2 swimmers, Ricky Mendiondo and Emma Hamberlin in lanes 5 and 6 at 14 years old, and Emma is 17. Another goal with taking first in their heat is Zian Rogal from H-Pack. Not a whole lot, but definitely took off 2.6 seconds, and that makes all the difference. Now into the final heat, 7 of 7. And that is for the our event number 2, the mixed 50-yard breaststroke. Next up, we're going to be combining events, and we'll be announcing that shortly. The one we have to watch for in this heat is going to be Coach Mix. I don't know how Kingsville's going to do, but Kingsville brought in 3 different swimmers. 13-year-old Bryce Johnson in lane 1, 14-year-old Elijah Marquez in lane 2, and 12-year-old Mia Forconi in lane 5. NRST has our 14-year-old Annabelle Price in lane 6, but Coach Mix has Annabelle Griffin and Phoebe Rogers, both 14, in lanes 3 and 4, and those 2 girls are taking it. Russ. That is the end of event number 2, the mixed 50-yard breaststroke. We're coming into events 3 and 4. Events 3 and 4 will be combined. Events 3 and 4, the mixed 200-yard backstroke, heat 1 with Connor Murphy, and event 4, mixed 200-yard butterfly. Both of these events are going to be combined. to get used. Usually there are counters for the just the bowl is what. When I say counters, people that are at home in their air conditioning while I'm out here having my legs stick to the vinyl or plastic, whatever's on this chair. These kids, these swimmers, they really push it out there. The heat in the pool, the temperature of the pool does make the difference. Temperature even affects the way that they breathe. And the problem with that is maintaining that breath, maintaining your focus, keeping yourself on a routine exercise and stroke so that way everything comes the exact same way and you don't overutilize some of your power or underdo it in some of the strokes. It's very important to keep your stamina and be able to make it through these longevity types of events in swimming. We're about there at the halfway mark, still about halfway to go. Almost through though. And it looks like Connor Murphy did take off quite a bit of time from his original seed time. We're looking at about 16.65 seconds that he shaved off. Lane 4, Ivans Garcia was able to do about 20 seconds quicker on his. Very, very good job. And Isabella Escobar is running a little bit slower. And like I said, that could be because of a various amount of different things. It could be the temperature of the water. Usually when it's warmer, the swimmer will run a lot differently. We're now in heat 1 of 1 heat only for event 5, the mixed 200-yard breaststroke, and that one is full with a lot of the Rogers family going against each other, swimming for Coach Mix, and only one coming in from STSS. That's 15-year-old Olivia Boniog in lane 4, and she is the only one not swimming for Coach Mix there. So Timothy Rogers in lane 2, Phoebe Rogers in lane 3, Nathaniel Rogers in lane 5. Remember, these are brother and sister competitions here. Let's see how they do. We will be starting event number 6, the mixed 25-yard backstroke. At this time, swimmers should be getting ready for heat 1, event 6, the mixed 25-yard backstroke. We need swimmers ready. Timers after this event. You will stay there, but we're going to have the swimmers all go over to the end where the opposite end of the pool where the blocks are not and swim 25. Only 25, one-way swims. All of my 25-yard backstrokers, get ready at the opposite end of the pool, not on the end where the timekeepers are. Well, as we are waiting on this, it appears that it is getting a little bit cooler. We're only at 7 o'clock. We're doing really good on our timing. We should be finishing this live meet sometime around 8:50, 9 o'clock tonight, if everything continues the way it's going. almost there. Just a reminder, we're coming into the 25s, event 6, the mixed 25-yard backstroke. Swimmers will need to line up at the opposite end of the pool by the scoreboard. Okay, so just following up, Olivia Boniac did finish with 2 minutes and 50 seconds. So that was about 20 seconds faster than what she usually does. Following her are big sister Phoebe Rogers, followed by brother Timothy Rogers. And now we have Nathaniel Rogers just came in. So a really great swim. We are now going into event 6, the mixed 25-yard backstroke. We have 8 heats. Here comes heat 1. All Keensville swimmers. All Keensville swimmers. 5, 6, 7, and 9-year-olds. Lane 1, we have 6-year-old Oliver Kuhlmeyer. In lane 2, we have 6-year-old Miles Scramuza. In lane 7, we have Ethan Biez. I'm sorry. In lane 3, we have 7-year-old Ethan Biez. In lane 4, we have 5-year-old Corey Water. In lane 5, 6-year-old Warren Bielski. And in lane 6, 9-year-old Aiden Mendez. Let's see how our new friends from Keensville do. It is just the best to watch these adorable little swimmers come out and try to keep their derrieres up high enough in the water so they don't go sinking down. And still just stroke and stroke and stroke, and we have some winners. And those were some amazing 5, 6, 7, and 9-year-olds for event 6, mixed 25-yard backstroke in heat 1, all from Keensville. Thank you. Now on to heat 2. In heat 2, we do have a little bit more of a mixture, just 25 yards, but I think that our faster little swimmers are going to include like lane 4, who just took first. That's Keensville's Lily Hedges, who is 8 years old. 7-year-old Luke Sampson is right there. He just finished up in lane 5. Now on to heat 3. In heat 3, we have a 6-year-old for NRST. She is Haley Forshaw in lane 1. In lane 2, we have Noah Waters, 7 years old from Keensville. In lane 3, Michael Seymour, 7 years old from Keensville. In lane 4, Austin Abe, who's 7 years old with NRST. Lane 5, we have Paisley Volmarine, who is 7 with NRST. And in lane 6, we have Keensville Skylar Urbanowski, who is 9 years old, and she's going to be swimming there. So Noah Waters took first in that heat. That was lane 2. Now on heat 4. In lane 1, we have NRST's Emma Ibarra, who's 8 years old. Coming in for the rest of the lane is old Keensville. Keensville has 9-year-old Chloe Lamont in lane 2, 9-year-old Claire Hamberlin in lane 3, 8-year-old Madeline Cantu in lane 4, 9-year-old Renee Galvan III, who's in lane 5, and then 9-year-old Katarina Narcalavan in lane 6. And first in that heat ended up going to Chloe Lamont in lane 2. Next up, heat 5. We're in heat 5 already. In heat 5, it looks like we have Catrino Flores, who's 8 years old in lane 1 from Kingsville. Sofia Aldava in lane 2, who's 8 years old from H-Pack. We have in lane 3, Ashton Schofield, who's 9 years old, and she swims for Kingsville. In lane 4, Jamie Hugger, who's 7 years old, and he swims for NRST. Jeffrey Bruder is in lane 5, and he's 9 years old, swims for Kingsville. And then Theo Hugger, who is age 9, in lane 6. And that one will be taken by one of the Hugger brothers. Trying to get through this since we know parents are hot. We're a little crowded. Trying to keep the airflow. We have the big old fans in here, but you know what? If you're watching this live and you're inside of an air-conditioned room or a vehicle, stay there. I would stay there too. We're now in heat 6 with 2 more heats left to go. Really running close, getting faster in the time. Some of our kids are being repeat swimmers. You should see their names pop up. But wow, the gliding is getting faster on this 25-yard backstroke. We are getting there. And first place in that heat goes to Isabel Salvador, who's 10 years old, swimming with H-Pack. Now on to heat 7, second to the last heat of this event. Next event on deck is event 7, the mixed 100-yard IM. Swimmers, be ready if you will be swimming in event 7, the mixed 100-yard IM. Really quick heats going by. In this one, we have lane 4, Abraham Albaba from H-Pack, who's 13 years old, taking first and dropping about 3 seconds. The times get a lot quicker. It's a lot easier more difficult to take off sometimes, but if you're watching this, you're looking at some really fast swimmers here. And now for the final heat of this event, we have in lane 1, 9-year-old Lucas Forshaw, 12-year-old Andrew Amy. He's going to be in lane 2. He's swimming for NRSC, both of them. Then we have 10-year-old Liam McCloy. He's swimming for H-Pack in lane 3. NRST's 12-year-old Elena Otino in lane 4. H-Pack's Annika Brashar's in lane 5, who's 13 years old. And then NRST's Aiden Lopez, who's 11 years old in lane 6. And first place was taken by lane 3. That was Liam McCloy, who's actually a really fast swimmer, really good swimmer. Even though he added about a half a second of time to this one, running a little bit slower, he still managed to keep up and stay over everybody. We're now going into event number 7, the mixed 100-yard IM. As you're watching live, please do remember that these swimmers go back and forth doing 4 different strokes. Now in lane 1, we have, in heat 1, we have in lane 2, Susie Rogers, the 6-year-old female swimmer for Coach Mix. She also swims with a TAF team, which is Texas Amateur Association for like all athletics that go on around the area, but just on the amateur level. So she does swim with Portland Aqua Cats. She's very, very good at getting in. She's a really great swimmer. I've seen her swimming since she had a pacifier in her mouth, so we're just going to give it up for her. Andrew Amy in lane 3 from NRSC is 12, and he will end up taking second, possibly. And then in lane 4, Camden Cardona, who's 14 years old, swimming for NRST. Camden Cardona did take first in that last heat. We're now going into heat 2 in We do have 5 lanes that are filled right now. So in lane 1, we do have Lozano swimming for NRST. And then in lane 2 for Keensville, we have Isabel Ashby, who's 14. NRST has Taylor Perry in lane 3, who's 10 years old. Coach Mix has Nathaniel Rogers, another Rogers family product. Still pushing lane 4. Nathaniel Rogers did take first, and he did drop almost 30 full seconds off his time. So I guess you could say the water is cold enough. Haha. In lane 5, and then 11-year-old Owen Biez for lane 6 for Keensville. And now on the freestyle stroke, these kids are going to give it their all and just push through that final 50 yards. I apologize, 25 yards. In that heat, first place will go to Roman Ferrer from Keensville. But we do have some really amazing times that these kids are pulling. Some of them are getting a little bit slower. Some of them are getting just a couple of seconds fast. It's just about this water and the heat temperature and the children being hydrated properly. And on to heat 4. Heat 4, we have Pierre Carlo Perroco, who is 13 years old, swimming for Keensville in lane 1. Ricky Mendiondo, who's 14 years old for Keensville in lane 2. 12-year-old Alston Chavallo Bolster, who is in lane 3 for NRST. We have 11-year-old Aliyah Rogau, or Aliyah, I apologize, In lane 4 for H-Pack, we have 14-year-old Annabelle Price in lane 5 for NRST, and 13-year-old Zian Rogao, who is in lane 6 for H-Pack. Again, this is a 100-yard IM, which is an individual medley. These swimmers are swimming 4 different strokes. Currently, they're on the backstroke. They've just gone into the breast, and once they get to the end, they're going to come back in the freestyle stroke. So the way the kids like to remember them, or the swimmers like to remember them, it is fly back breast free. Back breast free, and now we're going. And for this heat, we're going to have Zian Rogao, who is H-Pack's taking first for the heat. Now into heat 5. So for this heat, we do have 14-year-old Evelyn Diaz swimming in lane 1 for Gainesville. We have in lane 2, 13-year-old Kendall McPartland swimming for H-Pack. In lane 3, 9-year-old Dennis Yasvin, who is swimming for H-Pack. In lane 4, we have 12-year-old Julie Boniol, who is swimming for 12 years old, swimming for STSS. And then 10-year-old Felipe Escobar, who is in lane 5, swimming for H-Pack, and 12-year-old Brigham Sampson, who's in lane 6 for Canesville. And it looks like first place goes to lane 4 of this heat, and that is Julie Boniage, who was able to take off, shaved about 5 seconds off of her time. So good job there by Miss Julie and for our South Texas Swarm. Now going into heat 6 of 7. This is the second to the last heat of this event. We do have Phoebe Rogers, who's in lane 1. Isabella Escobar's in lane 2. Jose Morales is in lane 3. AJ Rogers, the big sister to Phoebe, in lane 4. Colton Bronk, who is in lane 5. And Annika, or sorry, I apologize. It's Annika. We already know that I love it to be Annika, but it's Annika. So Annika Brashar's in lane 6. And let's see how this one holds up. One more heat for event 7, and then we move into event 8. Event 8 is the mixed 100-yard butterfly. That'll be one heat. Please be ready. Then we'll have event 9 right after the mixed 200-yard freestyle. So events 8 and 9 and heat 1 for event 10 need to be ready on deck. And for that heat, we had Jose Morales from HPAC, who's 11, take first, shaving off about 4 seconds off his time right there. We're going into heat 7 of 7. This is the finals. So in lane 1, we do have STSS's 15-year-old Olivia Boniag in lane 1, 14-year-old Ivan Garcia, who is Coach Mix in lane 2. We have 15-year-old Connor Murphy, who is swimming for STSS in lane 3. 16-year-old Caden Cooper in lane 4 for NRST. Annabelle Griffin, who is 14, with Coach Mix in lane 5. And then 15-year-old Barrett Waddles, who swims for HPAC, and that's Coach Condo's team, in lane 6. once we're through with this event 9, we will be moving on to the mixed 25-yard freestyle in event 10. We're still on schedule to go great. Trying to make sure that our swimmers can get out of here with enough time to relax and slow down from all the day's heat before bedtime. So like I said, STSS swims in lanes 1, 3, and 4. Coach Mix is AJ Rogers, 17 years old, in lane 2, who already received a scholarship to go to college out of state for swimming. And then we have H-Pax Isabella Escobar, 12 years old, in lane 5 going. Parents, coaches, I do need the swimmers for event 10, mixed 25-yard freestyle, already lining up at the opposite end of the pool under the scoreboard. And it appears that Trey Winters was definitely on fire for that one. He took off approximately 7. No, not 7. I apologize. It looks like he just added a couple of seconds, but he was still trying to push on that. Still came out first in his heat. All right, here we go with the next 25-yard freestyles. We've got event 10, heat 1 of 8 going up first. In this heat, we have 6-year-old Miles Cremusa coming in on lane 1. Lane 2, Luke Sampson, 7 years old, swimming for Keensville also. 9-year-old Skylar Urbanovsky, who's swimming for Keensville as well in lane 3. And 6-year-old Oliver Kulemeyer, who is in lane 5, also swimming for Keensville. NRST and Coach Mix seem to have one swimmer each. So in lane 4, Barbie Waddle, who's 10 years old for Mix, and 8-year-old Olivia Hearn for NRST in lane 6. And we will have lane 4, Barbie Waddle, who's Coach Mix's 10-year-old, taking first in her heat with about a, let's see, Yep, looks like Barbie Waddle ended up taking first with a new seat time of 31.24, which is going to be 14.64 seconds faster than her last seat time of 45.88. I'm telling you, these swimmers, the time differentiations are as minute as .001 that we will keep track of for these kids, because any improvement is some improvement. And that's all they're doing. Swimmers are just trying to beat their time from yesterday. So we're on heat 2 of 8 already. We do have Haley Forshaw, who swims for NRST in lane 1. Keensville has 4 swimmers: Corey Water in lane 2, Ethan Biez in lane 3, Aiden Mendez in lane 4, Warren Bielski in lane 5, and the NRSC has John Rod in lane 6, who will take first for that heat with a time drop of about 4.6 seconds. Further down the way, we are in heat 3, still on event number 10, the mixed 25-yard freestyle. This current round, we have Noah Waters going for Keensville in lane 1. He's 7 years old. And then we have 8-year-old Lily Hedquist, who is in lane 5, also for Keensville. The rest of the slots are lanes are filled by NRST. NRST's own Austin Abe is in lane 2, Jeffrey Davis in lane 3, Emma Ibarra in lane 4, and Jamie Hugger in lane 6. And we're going to see how this Masters had a slight callback real quick, but we have heat 4 of 8. Did have a little bit of a switch. Turns out the last heat, Noah Waters was supposed to go in lane 1, but Paisley Valmering from this heat ended up going, and Noah is now in lane 1 for this one. We also have Michael Seymour in lane 2, Catrino Flores in lane 3, Chase Abe in lane 4, Madeline Cantu in lane 5, and Daniela Otino in lane 6. It looks like Catrino Flores, 8 years old, swimming for Keensville, is taking first in heat 4. Now for heat 5. Heat 5, we have Sofia Aldaba, who's 8 years old, swimming for H-Pack in lane 1. Lane 2 is 9-year-old Renee Galvan, the third again for Keensville. Lane 3, 9-year-old Allison Sampson for Keensville. In lane 4, 9-year-old Theo Hugger for NRST. Lane 5, Katarina Nargalavan for lane 5, swimming for Keensville. And then Keensville's 9-year-old Ashton Schofield in lane 6. And our first place for this heat is going to be picked up by Sofia Aldaba. right here. I was gonna put it on my chest. And it looks like in Heat 6, Alessandra Martinez is going to take first. She's the 10-year-old swimming for Gainesville from that heat. Now on to Heat 7. We have Nick Mendiondo, who's 10 years old, swimming for Gainesville on Heat 1, followed by 13-year-old Lila Garza swimming in lane 2 for NRST. And then 12-year-old Andrew Amy, he is swimming in lane 3 for NRST. 11-year-old Aaliyah Rogau is in lane 4 for HPAC. 10-year-old Bradley Williams is in lane 5 for NRST. Isabel Salvador, who's 10 years old, was in lane 6 for HPAC. And it looks like Aaliyah Rogau for HPAC took first in that heat. And now on to the final heat, 8 of 8. In lane 1, we have Aiden Lopez, who's with NRST. HPAC swimming in lane 2, Annika Brashars. In lane 3, Liam McCloy. And in lane 4, Zian Rogau, which looks like we're going to have some fast swimmers. They're going, ooh! And that was a glide or slide. First, second, and third. Yep. First, second, and third. Looks like they're going to be going to Annika, Liam, and Zian, not in that order. Now on to Heat 11. We are going through in a very timely manner right now. So it looks as if Heat 11 is the mixed 50-yard butterfly. First one's up. We have in Heat 1 of 5, lane 1, Rowan Ashby. Lane 2, Jalissa Ochoa. Lane 3, Pierre Carlo Perotto. Lane 4, Matthew Hinojosa. And in lane 5, Penelope Bruder. Only 50-yard butterfly, so they're going there and back. Let's see how these kiddos do. A butterfly is a very difficult and weird stroke, and anybody who says they love it, according to all-time champion and Olympian Josh Davis, they are lying to you. No one loves the butterfly. It is the hardest, weirdest contraption to get your body into that I've ever seen. It's a very hard swim stroke, but a very good swim stroke to master nonetheless. And it looks like lane 4, HPAC's Matthew Hinojosa, who is 9 years old, was doing really well today and took first for that heat. Next up is going to be Heat 2 of 5. In Heat 2, we've already gotten to know many of the swimmers by now. So we have in lane 1, Isabel Ashby for Gainesville. Also for Gainesville, we have Joaquin Martinez. Colton Lehman in lane 3, and Chris Mendiondo in lane 5, and Evelyn Bias in lane 6. Swimming for HPAC, we have Gio Chairez in lane 4. And we'll see how this one goes at the end, or the beginning of the next heat. If you are also new to swimming, but you are on the live, please do remember Meet Mobile. Meet Mobile is going to be your biggest friend. You don't have to have any heat sheets. You don't have to keep up with anything. All the players' names will be on there. You only pay about $7 a year for the entire application, and you can keep up for years to come with your favorite swimmers. You can highlight your favorite teams. You can see whatever events are going to be occurring near you, like swim meets, or even sometimes we have like small get-togethers that you can do as well. Some fit and faster trainings that'll be posted on there for some of the swimmers and teams that are in the area. Sometimes coaches kind of get that along. And then they just send an invite to other teammates so they can come in from different areas. So Meet Mobile, that is for Android and for iPhone. So it's available on the Apple or the Android store. Okay, so Evelyn Bias ended up taking first, dropping 13 seconds, and that was for that heat. She took first in heat 1. Congratulations, Evelyn Bias, swimming for Keensville. And now we have heat 3. In lane 1, Annabelle Price. Lane 2, Emma Hamberlin. Lane 3, Felipe Escobar. Lane 4, Ainsley Portales. Lane 5, Maddie Spitzer. And in lane 6, Nathaniel Rogers. And the winner of that heat's going to go to lane 3, which was Felipe Escobar, 10 years old, swimming for HPAC and Coach Kondo. Now on to heat 4 of 5. We're almost done with this event. We have Roman Ferrer is swimming in the first lane. We have David Flores in lane 2, Mia Forconi in lane 3, Kendall McPartland in lane 4, Alston Shabala-Bolster in lane 5, and Lucas Forshaw in lane 6. Very tough competition. We're getting to the end, and it gets stiffer and stiffer. This is going to be a really good one. Mia Forconi has been giving a lot of push into her time, and you can definitely see that right now as she's going into lane 3, and she's barely going to miss first and get second. First being just a split second off, maybe about 0.22, something like that. So we have first place in this heat is going to go to Isabella Escobar, and then we have our very own, oh no, I'm sorry, wrong one. Roman Ferrer took first, and Mia Forconi took second in that heat. Now we have heat 5, the last heat of this event before we get into some of the other longer ones. Isabella Escobar is in lane 1. We have Liam McCloy in lane 2, Trey Winters in lane 3, Jose Morales in lane 4, Denise Yasmin in lane 5, and Zian Rogao in lane 6. And this one could be pretty close. We're looking at lanes 3 and 4, see what they're going to do to each other because they're really going head to head. That's STSS, which is Keensville, in lane 3, and then lane 4 we have HPAC's Jose Morales, and it looks like lane 3 is taking that win barely by 0.9 of a second. We're going to have Jose Morales follow him right up and behind. We're now in event 12. This is the mixed 100-yard backstroke. We are in heat 1 of 2. We have a second heat after this. Right after this event, we do have event 13, the mixed 25-yard butterfly. I will need swimmers to be ready on the opposite end of the pool under the scoreboard for event 13, the mixed 25-yard butterfly. Thank you. In heat 1 of 2, we have Annika Brashards for H-Pack. Well, all three of them are swimming for H-Pack. So we have Annika Brashards. She's in lane 2. Kendall McPartland's in lane 3, and Isabella Escobar is in lane 4. Isabella is actually the only 12-year-old we have currently swimming this one. And then Annika and Kendall are 13. All three girls have a very similar time, so this will be very interesting as they come up on the end. It looks like Isabella Escobar took first for that heat, dropping off about not even about, it is exactly 6.01 seconds that she dropped off at that time. Yes, it is. We have all take the whole thing. It appears we don't have coaches or coaching assistants or lifeguards from your teams helping with the order of the 25 and unders. Coaches, volunteers, helpers, you know your children, your swimmers on your team. You must keep them organized at their lanes so we don't have issues with children swimming over children. So we had a little fluke there. It looks like one swimmer came in who wasn't supposed to, wrong lane, ended up swimming over another swimmer. That was heat 2. Fortunately, we were able to get that, evened out for the most part. That little kid came out, so Ivan Garcia wasn't totally affected. He was still able to get first place in that heat, although he didn't get to drop any time because he wasn't affected by that child. We're now in event 13, the mixed 25-yard butterfly. This is heat 1 of 6. In lane 2, we have Coach Mix's Barbie Waddle. And then in lane 3 and 4, it is Kingsville's Lily Hedquist and Ethan Diaz in lanes 3 and 4. Hey, y'all can hear me. If y'all can hear me, I mean, hopefully y'all can still hear me. I'm trying not to give you all the background noise that's going on. We had a little bit of a mix-up with one of the kids taking off when it wasn't their heat, but it's okay. We're okay. So, and we're in heat 2 right now. We were supposed to have Catrino Flores in lane 1. She got a little ahead of herself and ended up going in heat 1 instead of lane 1 for heat 2. So lane 1 is empty right now since she already got a time. Now in heat 2, lane 2 was Jeffrey Bruder, lane 3 Ashton Schofield, Jeffrey Davis in lane 4, Katarina Narcalavan in lane 5, and Renee Galvan, or Rini Galvan III in lane 6. Taking first in that heat is going to be lane 3, which was Bradley Williams. Oh no, sorry, which was Ashton Schofield. We're now in heat 3. Heat 3 has Jacob Davis, the sibling to Jeffrey Davis, who just came out in the previous heat. He's in lane 1. Claire Hamberlin's in lane 2. Bradley Williams is in lane 3. Allison Sampson's in lane 4. Noah Waters comes back. He's in lane 3. And Theo Hugger, another Hugger brother, in lane 6. It's currently 8:05 p.m. on this lovely Friday evening. Friday at the races. You should definitely come out. We do have popcorn. They had a cotton candy machine. I don't know where it is. If you want to volunteer, let us know on the post. Continue watching the live. This is pretty amazing. Event 13, heat 4, we have Chloe Lamont in lane 1, Susie Rogers in lane 2, Abraham Aldaba in lane 3, Taylor Perry in 4, Nick Mendiondo in 5, and Alessandra Martinez in lane 6. And we're going to have first in that heat go to lane 3, which is Abraham Aldaba. We're now on heat 5 of 6. In this one, it's mostly NRST and HPAC teams. So in lane 1, Aaliyah Rogo again. In lane 2, Ava Green. Lane 3, Elena Otino. Lane 4, Sean Alfaro. In lane 5, Levi McCloy. That's Levi, the little brother to Liam, who usually swimming. And then in lane 6, Aiden Lopez. So a few more events. We're almost through with this meet. I appreciate everybody who stayed on live, and I hope that you get a chance to come back in whenever we have a meet, and you can just sit around here and hang out with us. Or you can come and help me talk about the kids. I'm always welcoming any type of guest speaker or anybody who wants to come and do the announcing with me. It's always fun to get engaged and talk about how amazing and different the sport is compared to other ones out there. As we continue with heat 6 now, we have Lucas Forshaw in lane 1, Annika Brashars in lane 2, Zian Rogau in lane 3, Liam McCloy, as I said, in lane 4, Colton Bronk in lane 5, and Felipe Escobar in lane 6. And it looks like first is going to go to for Liam McCloy, which is a good one for him. We are now going into event number 14, the mixed 100-yard breaststroke. We only have 2 heats for this. We have 3 swimmers in the first heat, 4 swimmers in the last. Right now, Timothy Rogers is in second, lane 2. Isabel Escobar is in lane 3, and Zian Rogau is in lane 4, so we'll see how they do. This is, again, the 100-yard breaststroke. Swimmers, following event 14, which only has 2 heats, we will have event 15, the mixed 100-yard freestyle. Swimmers, please be ready, know your heats, know your lanes, and prepare for the mixed 100-yard freestyle event 15. Currently, it looks like lane 4 is going up in the first lead. They're all really close to each other. We've got a minor differentiation in time, split a couple of tenths of seconds, and we'll see how these three come out. Taking first in that heat is Zian Rogel from H-Pack, 13 years old. And now we're going into heat 2. In lane 2, we have from Coach Mix's team, Annabelle Griffin. Lane 3, Ivan Garcia. Lane 4, Phoebe Rogers, all with Coach Mix. And then H-Pack's own Barrett Waddles in lane 5. And it looks like taking first in that heat is going to be lane 5, Barrett Waddles, who's 15-year-old swimming with H-Pack. We're now going into event 15, the mixed 100-yard freestyle, with heat 1 of 5. In this heat, we only have 4 swimmers for this first one. Swimming for Keensville, there's Penelope Bruder in lane 2, Brigham Sampson in lane 3. Excuse me. Harriet Purdy in lane 4, and then Taylor Perry in lane 5. Event 15, the mixed 100-yard freestyle. We are on heat 1 of 5, and we have a special guest today. You want to tell me your name? Joey. And you're from Keensville?
Yes.
And you're how old? And you swim?
No. My sisters.
Wow, so they're your older sisters, right? Awesome. Are you going to help me next time with like the mic and the buzzer?
Yes.
Did you want to get a cupcake? I am positive this is on right now It is live. And if you and your mom go onto YouTube to High Performance Aquatic Club, go onto YouTube and search that. And then you'll look at the live videos, and every video will be on there with my voice, and there will be one special video with you. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. Have fun. I guess I'll see you later. Thank you. And for Heat 1, we have the winner of that heat coming in first and third lane is Brigham Sampson for Keensville, taking first in that heat. Now we're on to Heat 2 of 5. In lane 1, we have Emma Hamberlin. Lane 2, Chris Mendiondo. Lane 3, Aiden Lopez. Lane 4, Matthew Hinojosa. Lane 5, Bridget Sampson. And in lane 6, Julissa Ochoa. Always fun to hear about the kids, watch the kids do their stuff, but you know, sometimes it's like a little bit more fun if I get to hear about the kids. So if you are parents out there and you are listening and you have something that you want to be said about your swimmer or your relative at the next swim meet, please either email it or put a comment on our Facebook or our YouTube page. Comment on this video, and we will be more than happy to get with you and assist you. Heat 2, first place is going to be going to Matthew Hinojosa, who came from HVAC. He is our 9-year-old. So Matthew Hinojosa in lane 4 for HPAC, taking first in that heat. We're now in Heat 3 of 5. In lane 1, we have Alston Shabala Bolster. Lane 2, Colton Lamont. Lane 3, Nathaniel Rogers. Lane 4, David Flores. Lane 5, Jalen Reed. And lane 6, Luke Barber. I apologize. And it looks like lanes 2 and 4 are for Keensville. Yep. So we're going to see how Keensville's pulling out on this one right now. Don't have a whole lot of times in comparison to our swimmers here, since it is the first time that we are having Keensville over. Hopefully it won't be the last. But let's just see how these swimmers get it. I'm going to try to watch Nathaniel Rogers and David Flores in lanes 3 and 4. I have a feeling something's going to happen there. Maybe a little bit from lane 5, lane 5's Jalen Reeb. She looks like she's trying to keep up with them boys, so we'll see what's going on. But definitely lane 4, David Flores, he is pulling up to that top. through with this event as we only have heats 4 and 5 to finish up. After event 15, we go into event 16, the mixed 50-yard backstroke. Please be ready. Serious competition. They're on their third leg right now. Going into that flip turn, the top three, it looks like, are coming out of first, second, third, and fourth lane. We have a head-to-head. They are head-to-head. They are pushing. You might see lane 4. Oh, lane 1 is picking up. Lane 1 is picking up. Lane 1 is going to get it. Oh, my goodness. And lane 4 took first, with lane 2 taking second, with a difference of 0.23. No, 2, yeah. 0.2 of a second difference, ladies and gentlemen. Lane 4, Luke Jolly, 14 years old, swimming for the South Texas Swarm, which are out of Flower Bluff. We'll take first in that heat. See if heat 5 is as exciting. In heat 5, Liam McCoy's in lane 1, Isabella Escobar in lane 2, Connor Murphy in lane 3. In lane 4, Bo Barber, AJ Rogers in lane 5, and Caden Cooper in lane 6. Looks like our times to beat are going to be between Connor Murphy and Bo Barber, both swimming for the Swarm out of Flower Bluff. And there we go, lanes 3 and 4, just as we thought. 2 15-year-olds, and oh, it looks like they're coming back around. They're on that third stretch, fixing to come into that turn. Lane 3's Murphy ended up taking a little bit of a lead, but let's see if he ends up keeping it in this final leg. It took the flip turn. Murphy's still in the lead at the moment. And Barber did not pick up any more than he needed to. He was like, forget it, I'm out of it. Murphy takes first in that heat. And a good swim by all of those swimmers right there. We're now going into event 16, the mixed 50-yard backstroke. We'll start with heat 1 of 9. Looks like this will be still a little bit of a long one, but because we do have 9 heats for event 16. We're at 8:22, and we are a little bit ahead of schedule. Heat 1 for event 16, the mixed 50-yard backstroke. I have swimmers missing. Heat 1. In lane 2, I should have Austin Abe. In lane 4, I should have Grant Hedquist from Gainesville. Okay. And here we go. So it looks like we have 2 swimmers that are out sick. That's Austin Abe on lane 2 and Grant Hedquist on lane 4. So swimming in lane 1, Chase Abe, and then we have lane 3, Jamie Hugger, and then we have in lane 5, Rowan Ashby, followed by Cyrus Sanchez Vargas in lane 6. Four more events left in this day's meet, or Friday night at the races, 2, and we are almost there. Taking first place in that heat is going to be Jamie Hugger, one of the Hugger brothers. Really adorable, 7 years old, swimming for NRST, and it looks like he dropped about 13 seconds for his time so that he can get first. So he did really good on that one. We still have a couple of kiddos that are picking up speed, trying to get this race under their belts. Going into heat 2, we only have swimmers in lane 2, 4, 5, and 6. So it looks like Harriet Purdy in lane 2, Liliana Martinez in lane 4, Sofia Aldaba in lane 5, and Theo Hugger, the other brother, in lane 6. See how these swimmers go in this mixed 50-yard backstroke. This is heat 2 of 9, and we're almost there. Taking first in that heat went to Liliana Martinez, who's 15 years old. And now we're going on to heat 3 of 9 for event 16. And now on to heat 3 of 9. In first, Isabel Ashby. In second lane, we have Taylor Perry. Lane 3, Brigham Sampson. Lane 4, Bridget Sampson. We got both from Kingsville. We have sisters, brother and sister. Brigham is 12, and it looks like Bridget is 11. Kaden Gomez-Salinas in lane 5, and Evelyn Diaz in lane 6. For heat 3, I didn't get to fin. Oh, yes, I did. Okay, I apologize. Taking first for heat 3 is going to be Evelyn Biaz from Kingsville, or Biaz. In heat 4, which we are now going into, 4 of 9. Lanes are full. In lane 1, Ava Green. In lane 2, Emma Hamberlin. In lane 3, Owen Biez. In lane 4, Sofia Sanchez Varga. Lane 5, Derek Guerra. And in lane 6, Penelope Bruder. All of them are swimming for Kingsville except for Ava Green, who swims for NRST, and we'll see how this goes. Okay, we're now on heat 5. So many things going on, ladies and gentlemen. It is busy. It takes a village. Nope, I retract that. It takes an army of South America, South Texas for that matter, to control these swimmers and keep this thing organized. So now we're on heat 5 and heat. Finally got the name, Owen Beasy. And I think it was Sophia. No, it wasn't. It was a different name. Beasy. I got Beasy. Thanks, Dad. Sorry that it took a little while for me to catch up, but Beasy, I will remember. Thank you very, very much. And we're off in heat 6 of 9. In lane 1, Maddie Spitzer swimming for NRST. In lane 2, Chris Mendiondo for Keensville. Lane 3, Matthew Hinojosa for HPAC. Lane 4, Isabel Salvador in lane 4. And then Aiden Lopez in lane 5 swimming for NRST. Andrew Amy is in lane 6 swimming for NRST as well. And we're going to see some really hard things between lanes 3 and 4. Let's just keep an eye on it because we are on the 50-yard backstroke. And that is who is in the lead. Matthew Hinojosa, lane 3, 9 years old, swimming for HPAC. And that 9-year-old just took first in this heat. We're now in heat 7. Heat 7 has Lucas Forshaw in lane 1, Pierre Carlo Perotto in lane 2, Julissa Ochoa in lane 3, Annabelle Price in lane 4, Jalen Reeb in lane 5, and Lila Garza in lane 6. Now, we only have a few teams that are different in this heat. Most of them are the Northwest Region Swim Team, which is NRST here in Calallen. But we do have a Keensville swimmer, that's lane 2, and then we have our Flower Bluff, our SCSS Swarm swimmer, Jalen Reap in lane 5, and let's see how these put up their fight in this heat. Beautiful precision, really good gliding. It looks like lane 2 and 4 want to take first and second. Lane 4 will take first. Second will go to, oh, I'm sorry, lane 5. I guess we haven't had somebody hit the pad. When this happens, ladies and gentlemen, we have a little bit of a confliction with some of our times, but it looks like they kind of fixed it. So 4 got 1 and lane 2 got second. Annabelle Price and Lucas Forshaw. It was a really amazing swim. Both are interesting swimmers from that last heat. The only difference is that Annabelle's 14 and Lucas is 9. We're on heat 8 of 9, so we're getting almost done there. We have one more heat in this event. Then we're moving on to event 17, the mixed 25-yard breaststroke. Next event, event 17, the mixed 25-yard breaststroke. I need all swimmers at the opposite end of the pool with your coaches. All swimmers swimming the 25-yard breaststroke at the opposite end of the pool where the scoreboard is. So going, it's heat 9. And in that last one, looks like Roman Ferrer ended up taking first in that heat. He is the faster one. Looks like Kingsville has a really, someone you really have to look out for on that one. We'll have to get Coach Sean over here to talk to a little bit more about it because I think he's got some hidden gem going on. So we're now in heat 9. We're fixing to get ready for the event number 17. In heat 9, we have in lane 3 Ivan Garcia. He's for Coach Mix, and he will be taking first for that heat. Julie Bonyag was in lane 1, Liam McCloy in lane 2, Bryce Johnson in 4, Camden Cardona in 5, and Annika Brichards in 6. We're now moving on to event 17, the mixed 25-yard breaststroke. We have 4 heats, and here we go. Heat 1 has 6 swimmers, our same little kiddos. Let's see who picks up. Definitely going to be looking at Susie, well, maybe like Ashton Schofield or Claire Hamberlin, lanes 3 and 4. They swim for Kingsville. All these swimmers here are 9 years old in this heat except for Isabel Salvador in lane 6, who is 10. But let's just find out what's going to happen here. And it looks like lane 6, Isabel Salvador ended up making it to her end of the race first, followed by Susie Rogers on lane 2. The issue with that sometimes is that you can't always get the pad to touch the pad. There's a big rectangular pad in the water, and you have to be able to hit it with 2 hands forcefully in order for it to be able to work and stop the clock. So we're trying to get that going with that one lane. Now in heat 2, we're going to be keeping a close eye on Theo Hugger. Hugger brothers seem to be doing this very, very well. Theo Hugger is one of our faves right now. He's a little 9-year-old who swims very fast. His seed time for this event is 37.94 seconds, and he is in lane 3. We're going to see how he goes because lane 2 seems to be really pulling it. Lane 2 is Nick Mendiondo, and he is 10 years old with Keensville. And sure enough, he is pushing on and taking first in lane 2 in that heat with a 2.5 second drop. Next up, we have heat 3 of 4. And now on heat 3, swimmers are coming in. Lanes 1, 2, and 3 are keeping up. Actually, lane 1 might be pushing up just a little bit more. But in lane 1, we do have Sophia Laba. Oh, no, not lane 2. Lane 2, I'm sorry. Lane 2, we have Ryan Waddles and then Gio. And then it is Lucas Forshaw that are right there close to each other. And those two are HVAC and NRSC. So those boys definitely did awesome in that heat. Give me just 1 second as we move on to heat 4 of 4. Hang on. Okay, so we had a small issue. We had two swimmers. It looks like Skylar Urbanovsky for Keensville, who's 9 years old, from Heat 1, and Abraham Aldaba from H-Pack in lane, it was supposed to be in Heat 3. They're going in Heat 5 together because they both missed their time. So please watch the next swimmers that are coming up. They are Abraham Aldaba in lane 3 and Skylar Urbanovsky in lane 1. Looks like Abraham already finished. He is one of the older kids. It took off about 5 seconds from his time. We're still waiting for Skylar Urbanovsky. She's not as slow. She's actually not that much slower. She's also taking off time. So we're going to cheer her on. Go, Skylar! And Skylar finished it, and that was good. We're currently going to take a quick minute break. I need to make sure that all relays are ready to go. We're taking a quick minute break. I'm waiting to make sure all relays are good to go. Swimmers should not be in lanes 1 through 6. If you are in the water, you should be out. Now on Heat 1 for the relays, it's the Event 18, the mixed 100-yard freestyle relay. We have a false start, and so now we are waiting. Swimmers are getting ready. H-Packs in lane 1, H-Packs in lane 2. Coach Mix has a team in lane 3. Keensville has a team in lanes 4 and lane 6, and NRSC has a team in lane 5. See how these teams do. Okay, for anybody who might have heard me burp, I'm very sorry. I forgot the mic was on. And excuse me. Woo! H-Pack is definitely trying to keep up over here. They have almost gone through. They're almost on their final leg. Following them closely is going to be mixed team. It looks like first and second are going to go to, in first place, we have the H-Pack B team. In second place, we have the H-Pack A team. So, wow, definitely doing really well. We still have about 4 teams that are out there. Oh, no, Heat 3 just, or lane 3 just came in for Coach Mix, her A team, and that's going to be in third, fourth, in lane 4, fourth place. That's Keensville, Keensville's A team. Keensville's other A team is in lane 5, and it looks like Keensville's B team is coming in 5th in lane 6, and NRST's other A team is going to be coming into lane 5 in 5th place, which is okay. We're now up to event, we're still on event 18. We're looking at heat 2. Event 19 is going to be next, and that's going to be the final 2 heats of the evening. Following event 18, heat 2 of 2, event 19, mixed 11 and over 200-yard freestyle relay. Event 19, up on deck. Heat number 1 and 2. The mixed 11 and over 200-yard freestyle relay. Swimmers, be ready. Well, we have NRST C team and NRST B team in lanes 2 and 3. In lane 4, it's HPAC's C team. Still going. We're still going. 3 lanes, and we're almost done. Currently, it looks like we just hit first place was the 4th lane. That's HPAC C team over there with Zian Rogau being the anchor. NRST's 2 teams, the B and C team, they're going in together. It looks like we're going to have lane 2 NRST C team take 2nd, followed by NRST B team in 3rd for the mixed 100-yard freestyle relay. Next up, event 19, final event of the evening, the mixed 11 and over 200-yard freestyle relay. Folks, give us a moment. It'll be coming on soon. Are we missing a team? I think we're missing Keensville, lane 4. NRST, Caden Cooper should be on lane 3. Caden Cooper on lane 3. And then Evelyn Beasy on lane 4. Where is Caden Cooper? Ah, there we go. That you, Caden? Beautiful dives in. The swimmers are going. It looks like Caden's right there. Oh gosh, these swimmers are really up with each other. Some of them have a little bit longer of a slipstream than most others, but nonetheless beautiful swimming. I don't know if it's Caden Cooper in lane 3 or if we had a fill in, but whoever's swimming right there is definitely doing very well, gliding super well. It looks like NRST's lane 2, Maddie Spitzer was supposed to go in at the end as the anchor, but she went first. Now we have Alston Shabala Bolster going with her as her teammate. Still doing it really quick. Evelyn Beasy did very well. Bridget Sampson went in after her, so we're waiting for her to get back. Currently, it looks like NRST's B team will be, Catonsville's B team in lane 4 is in 3rd place. We have NRST in lane 2. The NRSTC team is in somewhere fighting in second, and then our Keensville B team is still coming in, and they're pushing in lane 4. Yeah, because they have like 3 swimmers. At first it was going to be Alston and Maddie doing the 100 each, but they got one little girl. Yeah. What do you mean, oh, she's doing 100? Maddie does 200 and 400 before. Lately she's only... The same thing as doing individual. Yeah, we get a little smaller. Okay, so it looks like NRST's B team in 3 with our imaginary Kaden Cooper came in first in the skeet. Followed by Kingsville followed by NRST's C team in lane 2, and then Kingsville in lane 4. Now on to heat 2 and the final event for the evening. HPAC swimmers are going to be A team in lane 2, Coach Mix A team in lane 3, NRST A team in lane 4, and Kingsville A team in lane 5. Let's see how this team matches up. And they're off. Ooh, and they're really keeping up with each other. Oh my God, lane 3 came up out of nowhere. Looks like lane 3 is Coach Mix's Ivan Garcia. We've seen that swim before. He just zooms in there. He could probably substream the entire swim, the entire length of the 25 yards of the pool, but he is going to give his team first place shot, and he is going to keep them there with about a quarter of the pool length in lead. Coming in a real decent second, it's going to be in lane 5, Keensville, their swimmer. Rowan Ferrer did really try hard, but sadly, Ivan just gave him a little bit more extra. Is Phoebe Rogers going in? Kind of have fun when we try to be really students. It's fun. It's neat. What you're from Keensville? Oh, you're with the Swarm. Okay, awesome. Cool beans. Don't forget to remind your coach that I need bios of y'all so I can start talking about y'all more. Thank you. And first place went to HPAC A team. Second place went to the Keensville A team. And we have both of Coach Mix A team and NRST A team still going. Looks like Coach Mix, followed by NRST, took that one. And we are through with this evening. Thank you very much for watching, all of us on live. Still have a couple of hiccups going on. We're trying to do it, but you know, it runs pretty smooth. All we ask is that you please check us out someday. Keep up with us. Thanks, guys, and keep swimming.